For decades, his face brought laughter into millions of homes. But behind that familiar smile was a story few people were paying attention to, until now. Demond Wilson, the man who made Lamont Sanford unforgettable, has passed away at 79. His son confirmed the news quietly, saying just 6 words that stopped a lot of fans cold. "I loved him. He was a great man." What makes this hit harder is how little we actually know about his final days. Reports say complications are tied to cancer, but the details were never made public. No long statements, no final interviews. Just a sudden goodbye to a man whose career shaped an entire era of television. And while most people remember the laughs, the jokes, and the classic moments on Sanford and Son, that wasn't the full story. Because Demond Wilson's journey through Hollywood and the way it ended raises questions most fans never thought to ask. Before the fame, before the sitcom glory, Demond Wilson was just Grady Demond Wilson. No flashy stage name, no industry shortcuts. He came up the hard way, taking whatever work he could get in the late 1960s and early 1970s. His first appearance barely even counted. An uncredited role in Cotton Comes to Harlem slipped by most audiences without notice. No applause, no headlines. From there, he became a familiar face in the background of television's biggest shows. Quick appearances on All in the Family, a role in Mission Impossible, a spot on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. Each one is small, each one is easy to forget. But that was the point. Wilson wasn't being groomed for stardom, he was surviving in an industry that chewed up actors long before they ever got a break. And then, in 1972, everything changed. Because one role, just one, would take Demond Wilson from an anonymous working actor to a name millions of households would never forget. When Demond Wilson was cast as Lamont Sanford in 1972, it didn't just change his career, it changed television. Sanford and Son wasn't another safe sitcom. It was loud, sharp, and unapologetic. And right at the center of it was Wilson, playing the straight man to Red Fox's chaos. Calm, frustrated, loyal, Lamont became the emotional anchor that made the comedy work. Audiences didn't just watch the show, they locked in. Within a year, Sanford and Son exploded into NBC's highest-rated series. At its peak, the show dominated primetime, with its second season ranking as the second most-watched program on all of television. That kind of success was rare, and it came fast. Suddenly, Demond Wilson wasn't grinding for guest roles anymore. He was in millions of living rooms every week. His timing, reactions, and chemistry with Fox turned Lamont into one of TV's most recognizable sons. But massive success comes with a cost, and once the camera stopped rolling, Wilson was about to learn that being part of a hit show didn't guarantee an easy future. When Sanford and Son ended in 1977, the spotlight didn't follow Demond Wilson the way many expected. He moved quickly into another sitcom, Baby, I'm Back, playing Raymond Ellis. On paper, it looked like a smooth transition. In reality, the show barely lasted a year before disappearing without much noise. After that, he did what working actors do when the phone stopped ringing the same way. He stayed visible wherever he could. Guest spots on The Love Boat, appearances on Today's FBI. Familiar titles, but smaller moments. At the same time, he leaned into film work throughout the late 70s and 80s. Movies like Full Moon High, The Organization, and Dealing kept him busy, but none recreated the cultural pull of Sanford and Son. In 1982, he took another swing at sitcom fame as Oscar Madison in The New Odd Couple. The role was iconic, the timing wasn't. The series ended after just one season. And after that, something noticeable happened. Demond Wilson stepped back. Not a dramatic exit, no public meltdown, just long stretches where he was simply gone from an industry that once made him a household name. But the story wasn't finished yet. After years away from the spotlight, Demond Wilson didn't come back with noise. He came back on his own terms. In 1993, he reappeared in the film Me and the Kid. No big promotional push, no headlines calling it a comeback. Just work, a reminder that he was still there, still capable, even if Hollywood had moved on. Then came another long pause. Nearly a decade later, Wilson returned in 2000, taking on the role of Morgan Rivers in Hammerlock. It was brief but deliberate, the kind of role actors choose when they still love the craft, not the attention. From 2004 to 2005, he made a short but noticeable appearance on the series Girlfriends. For longtime fans, it felt familiar, a face from another era, still holding his own in a new generation of television. And then, once more, he stepped away. Until 2023. More than 50 years after his first acting role, Damon Wilson appeared in Eleanor's Beach, a series centered on second chances, justice, and returning home. Fitting themes for a man who had quietly lived them. It would be his final project. And not long after that appearance, his story reached its closing chapter. The announcement didn't come with a long statement or a media tour. It came from his son. "I loved him," Damon Wilson Jr. said. "He was a great man." That was it. No details, no explanations. Just a line that said more than a paragraph ever could. Soon after, Wilson's publicist confirmed the family's grief, asking for privacy and making it clear that no further information would be shared. The message was firm but quiet, the same way Wilson had lived much of his later life. People who worked closely with him spoke less about fame and more about character. 15 years of professional history summed up in one truth: his impact didn't fade when the camera stopped. For fans, the loss hit differently, not because he was everywhere at the end, but because he wasn't. His work had already done its job. The reruns, the catchphrases, the dynamic that helped define an era of television comedy. Damon Wilson didn't chase relevance in his final years. He had already earned it. Damon Wilson's career wasn't built on constant headlines or non-stop visibility. It was built on moments that lasted. He helped shape one of television's most influential sitcoms, anchoring chaos with calm and turning a supporting role into something unforgettable. Long after the show ended, his work kept circulating, passed down through reruns, references, and memories shared across generations. His journey also told a quieter truth about Hollywood: that success can be massive and still temporary, that stepping away doesn't erase impact, and that not every legacy needs a grand farewell to be real. In the end, Damon Wilson didn't need a dramatic final act. He had already left something behind that couldn't be canceled, forgotten, or replaced. And for the fans who grew up watching him week after week, that influence is still there, every time the screen lights up.